Alright, if you clicked on this, you already know what's going on. So this is my 2010 Tacoma with a stock JBL head unit. I want to upgrade this to something a little bit more modern. Shout out to ATOTO. They sent me out this 10-inch floating deck you see here. It's Android based, so you get all the apps, Apple CarPlay, maps, cameras, everything you would need. So let's jump in. Alright, we're going to do a quick unboxing here. So this is the X10 floating head unit. Inside you got your box of connections, the head unit itself. It's a single DIN construction with the display being fully adjustable, which is pretty awesome. Inside we have the tote, all your connections, so 20-pin connector, cubby for a double DIN, GPS and Wi-Fi antenna, USB ports for external memory, audio and video, data SIM card, manual of course, and 2 screen protectors. They also sent out this cool little watch style SWC setup with the wireless transponder. I won't be using this because I have controls on my steering wheel, but definitely cool if you don't. I'll also be running the ATOTO forward facing camera. So in here, pretty straightforward. You got your little cover for your wiring harness, and then a splitter for front and rear camera, and then the camera itself. It's pretty neat. It's got an adjustable lens on it, so you can adjust the angle on it. I'm also going to be running ATOTO's backup cam, so pretty much the same stuff. You got your wiring harness with a trigger wire, which is that white one, another splitter if you don't have one already, and then the camera itself. And both these cameras you can view anytime, so it'd be cool for the trail as well. To make everything plug and play, I'm running a pack interface. So it's pretty straightforward. You got the module itself, OBD2 for live data, 20-pin and SWC, and then your main harness. The instructions are super detailed, so anybody can get it done. Lastly, I got this double DIN bezel, and here's the part number on that. I'll leave everything that I'm using for this setup in the description with links so you can get it all yourself, but this is pretty straightforward here. Got some cheap brackets we're not going to use. Here's the bezel itself. The color's a little bit darker than factory, but looks super clean. Don't even notice when it's in. So let's get to it. I'll first start by building my harness. Again, like I said, the instructions are super detailed, tell you where all the connections go. Your 20-pin is all color matching. Everything else is pretty much plug and play. And when you're done, you should wind up with something like this. Now it's time for the install. Pop this control panel out by prying up on the bottom. Now with the clips removed, you should just be able to pull this out and let it hang. There's 4 bolts behind this, 2 on each side, and those hold the bracketry for the head unit. Now with those removed, you should be able to just wiggle the head unit out pretty easily and set it forward. Then we'll disconnect the harness from the head unit. Don't forget your clock connection. Now we'll pull the brackets off the head unit because we're going to reuse them. We got to pull the clock out of this bezel, and we also got to pull these little yellow clips right here that go around the outside. You just pry up on the top and bottom. The brackets are labeled left and right, and that's with the head unit facing you, so it's pretty straightforward, not too confusing. Now we're going to yank this clock out of here. So it's got a little clip on both the left and right side, so 1 on each side and then 2 on top and bottom. I'll show you a little bit better angle. So here it is out. There's the 2 on the bottom. You can see here they're little. 1 on each side and then 2 on top. Now that I've got all my salvage parts here, we'll get them thrown onto the new bezel and the head unit. Now I'll use these keys to remove the outer sleeve because of the way my head unit works. The brackets bolt directly to the inner. Now the fun begins. So we've got all this wiring to try and stuff in there. The pack interface is currently in line, you can see here, and fed through the sleeve. So let's see if we can't wiggle all this up here plus these antennas. Alright, that was definitely a tight fit, but I was able to get everything up in here. So we've got the radio antenna, the GPS antennas, the camera cables, the external storage, the 20-pin connector, and my aux in. And I also double checked before to make sure all of my controls work. Now let's install that bezel. So here we go. Just push in this last piece here, then we can plug in all of our connectors and slide in the head unit. Alright, now to run the harness for the cameras. So I'm going to go under the kick panel here, up through the A-pillar for the forward-facing camera. And then for my backup cam, I'm going under this kick panel here. And right here under the seat is a harness that extends through the floor. So I'm going to take that path right there. And then from the bottom side, you can see where it comes out and it runs right along the frame rail. Alright, now it's time to remove this A-pillar. So you got the two plugs here that you need to remove, and then under those are two 10 millimeters. So I just use this little plastic card that I got, pop these guys out. I make it look harder than it is, but super easy. Now here's a quick shot of the two 10 mils, so one up top, one down below, and that's it. Then this guy will just slide right out. With those removed, now this guy will just slide right out. And then for the forward-facing camera, I'm going to follow this harness right up the A-pillar and up through the headliner across to my mirror. Alright, now I got to pull the harness up through the dash, so I just use a long zip tie, some masking tape. Drop it in from the top side. As you can see here, I've attached the end to it. Then a little bit of wiggling and you should be able to pull it up through the dash, no problem. And there you go. Now I'm going to hop back to this other harness for the backup camera. So as you can see with these yellow zip ties, I just followed this harness down through this little panel and under the carpet through that grommet, just like I said. Followed it all the way back to the bumper, just zip tying along that harness. So you can see it here marked by these yellow zip ties. I followed that harness all the way around the corner here to the license plate and just jumped through and taped it right to my license plate, because I'm going to be replacing this whole bumper, but for now, I'm just going to run it right there. Now you'll remove your tail light and bring your signal wire over here. Just follow the harness up in, and then it needs to tie to the positive on your reverse light. I left all the extra wire here because, again, like I said, I'm going to replace this bumper. Don't know if I'll need this extra wire, so I just bundled it up. But tie to the positive, and then that'll trip it when you go into reverse. Hopping back up front, I just zip tied along this harness here on the A-pillar. I ended up removing the visor so I could tuck it behind the headliner, but it was pretty easy, just 2 screws, and then I was able to tuck the wire up in there nice and tight, follow along here to behind my mirror, and then just dropped it down right behind it. You can't even see it when you're in the driver's seat. It's super clean. And that's it, we're done. So as you can see here, we got Apple CarPlay now. My steering wheel controls still work. aux-in works. I've retained everything. Works with my JBL system. Sounds great. Reverse cam, forward-facing cam. You can view these anytime. A ton of apps, stuff that I don't even really understand what it is or how to use it, but it's awesome. Huge upgrade. If you guys are interested in anything like this, check the description. I'll have a link down below. But you guys know the drill. Until next time, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.